Hi, I'm Megan Martinez, and I'm currently enrolled in SPCE 689 Section 810 with Professor Savage. Today is September 27th, 2025, and I'm going to begin by shuffling my deck of cards 3 times and cutting it down the middle. Looks like my cat Mia is joining me today. That's who's behind me on my bed. 2 and 3. Oh, and cut in half. Okay. So I'm going to hold the cards that the definition's facing me, terms facing the camera. I have a 1-minute timer set on my phone already. And with that being said, I'm going to get started right now. Observation of behavior is objective. Empiricism. Quantifiable and observable events that are compared with known facts to form hypotheses. Description. Group of responses with the same function. Pass. Refers to the influence a motivating operation has on the current frequency or likelihood of a behavior, causing it to increase or decrease depending on whether the motivating operation is establishing or abolishing the reinforcing value of a stimulus. Behavior altering effect. Physical energy change capable of affecting an organism's sensory receptors that has specific form or pattern which as a unit has controlling effectiveness and is the result of verbal behavior. Pass. I don't know this one. The branch of behavior analysis which involves research and experiments. Experimental analysis of behavior. Okay, and then that's my timer. And I'm going to continue on through the deck. Treatment decisions are made based upon data demonstrating functional relationships. Analytic. Refers to the process of eliminating the association or pairing between a condition motivating operation and its previously established motivating properties. Pass. Philosophical assumption underlying the science of behavior analysis that anything that evolves does so because of the consequences of behavior, meaning that behaviors that result in positive consequences survive and produce more sophisticated repertoires. Selectionism. Skills occur outside of the training setting or beyond the trained response. Generalizable. Philosophical approach within behavior analysis that focuses solely on observable external behaviors and excluding internal states like thoughts and feelings as a means to study and understand behavior. Methodological behaviorism. The functional aspect of an antecedent phenomena that demonstrates a change in the effectiveness of stimuli as reinforcers and or alters the current frequency of behavior, motivating operation. Behavior reinforced through social mediation. A listener is conditioned to provide reinforcement to the speaker. The term verbal is used to describe a communicative behavior. The term vocal describes the use of vocal musculature to produce sounds. Verbal behavior. Reinforcement that occurs via another person. Socially mediated reinforcement. An increase in the current frequency of behavior that has been reinforced by some stimulus, object, or event whose reinforcing effectiveness depends on the same motivating operation. Pass. Observable to others. Public or overt behavior. Events. Okay, I got that one wrong. Selected behaviors are socially significant. Applied. A decrease in the current frequency of behavior that has been reinforced by some stimulus, object, or event whose reinforcing effectiveness depends on the same motivating operation. Abative effect. Someone who provides reinforcement for a speaker's verbal behavior. Audience or a verbal community. Defined as the philosophy of behavioral science, which focuses on understanding behavior through the lens of environmental influences, primarily through the principles of conditioning, reinforcement, and punishment, where behavior is shaped by its consequences and the stimuli presented in the environment. Behaviorism. A complete and concise description of behavior change, procedures for replication. Technological. Group of stimuli that share a common function, topography, or temporal relation and have a common effect on response class. Pass. Selected behaviors are observable and measurable. Behavioral. Demonstration of a functional relation through the manipulation of an independent variable while observing change in the dependent variable. Control. Motivating operation that increases the effectiveness of some stimulus, event, or object as a reinforcer. Pass. Refers to behavior that occurs more often in the presence of a stimulus than its absence. Stimulus control. Motivating operation in which an individual is given access to a reinforcer, decreasing the reinforcer's effectiveness. Abolishing operation. Private, unobservable to a third party. Private, covert behavior. Comprehensive philosophy of behaviorism developed by B.F. Skinner, which aims to understand all human behavior, including private events like thoughts and feelings, by explaining them in terms of their functional relationships with the environmental factors, essentially viewing all behavior, both public and private, as shaped by the environment. Radical behaviorism. Demonstration of socially significant behavior change. Effective. Scientists first consider the most logical and simple explanations for a phenomenon. Parsimony. The literature supports the use of interventions and procedures that are derived from the principles of behavior. Conceptually systematic. Two events shown to covary over repeated observations allows for estimations to be made about the future occurrence of those events. Prediction. Scientific approach to understanding and changing behavior by systematically identifying the environmental factors that influence a person's actions with the goal of improving socially significant behaviors through the manipulation of these factors in real-world settings. Applied behavior analysis. And then the last one, the universe is a lawful, orderly, not accidental determinism. Okay, that's all my cards. Thank you so much for watching.